Hello and welcome everyone to 7 Women to Know in Esports. My name is Smix and I'm joined by the lovely Ovilee. And I'm here with Rachel, the founder and CEO of Ateyo.
I am now here with Breanne, one of the founders of Ateyo. The reason why we're all here and wearing all of this cool stuff. Hey guys, I am here with Krista, and let me get this right. You are a video game attorney. I am here with Brittany, or better known as Vienna. I'm joined by one of the most important women in esports that you should know, SUSIEKIM. I know I've told you this like multiple times, and I think it's fitting that we're talking about 7 amazing women, but like, I've always like looked up to you, and now we're like sitting next to each other on a video, and I'm like,
I also love, I love that we're doing this together because I feel like we're both like, huh, amazing, that's not me. For anyone who may not know who you are, can you introduce yourself?
Sure, hi, I'm Ovilee. I think what most people know me from is I do interviewing and little content pieces for the North American League of Legends LCS. Biggest thing was I did Worlds last year, which was super exciting.
And you were amazing. I'd get chilled. Like, you were so good.
You're so nice. You're so nice.
The only difference between me and Ovilee is that I'm just older, but I do similar work as her. I'm also an interviewer, but primarily I work in StarCraft 2 as well as Counter-Strike Global Offensive. So I think between the three of us, we're covering a lot of the bigger games, I think for sure.
So if you guys do not know, like, these women are so freaking crazy behind Ateyo because you've managed to take something that gamers probably really don't give a crap about, which is clothing, and just create like this entire community and almost identity behind it. So just for people who don't really know who you are or what you do, please, any introduction.
I mean, you gave a great introduction. We care so much about community, and the reason we do this is because we want to give people a product they love. And it's really exciting to us to watch this whole shoot happen and watch everyone put on the products and love them and say, oh, I feel so powerful in this. That means we've done our job really well. And so we're just here to make everyone else feel good. And so when we've done that, we're happy.
I know that there's been a lot of emotions going through you today. There's been so much happening. First of all, just tell me how you're doing right now.
I think this has been really exciting for me personally. I think like professionally, obviously it's super exciting, but doing like a proper women's wear and like celebrating all the amazing women that, you know, are broadcast talent, but are also behind the scenes or work at orgs or with players or things like that has been like so important to us.
For people who don't know who you are, can you have a little short introduction?
I guess I'm best classified as just a League of Legends player. I guess most people know me because they run into me in their games. I'm on Diamond 1. I've also played competitive in some amateur tournaments, like some of the bigger ones, like the Canadian Championship and DreamHack Montreal. I've also played in the Galentine Games, which was a all-female tournament, which was really fun.
I'm an esports attorney, to be even more precise.
Esports attorney, perfect. So tell me, what does that mean? What do you do?
I spend 100% of my workday working in esports. The majority of what I do is working with a lot of esports teams, like Team Liquid, Cloud9, Optic, 100 Thieves, the list goes on and on. Lots of Overwatch League teams, casters, all of the cool people in esports that I have been a fan of for so long and now get to work with. Like many jobs in esports, there's no real normal day, but the majority of what I do is a lot of talent contracts for teams. We do a lot of work with players, agents, signing players on behalf of the teams. We work a lot with big sponsors that are entering the space on behalf of the teams that are being sponsored by them. Lots of buyout deals, anything that happens in esports, we are gonna have a hand in.
New title with Cloud9, the director of Yeet. Please, for people who didn't understand, didn't know, because I was one of them, what is that?
I'm now the director for Youth Esports Education and Training. And we're kind of starting up a new program with Cloud9 focusing on teenagers. The internet is like a big free-for-all, right?
Oh yeah.
So if you have a 13-year-old gamer entering a game with a bunch of older players who may be saying not nice things, that's what they're going to learn. And I'm hoping that through this program, even if it's a small percentage of people on the internet, that we could start explaining to them at a younger age that, you know, these are appropriate things that you can do, and this is how you treat people, and that every single person on the internet, even if they are just a name, is a person on the internet.
I think a question that I think everyone always wants to know is, how did you get started? And this is probably someone you get asked all the time, but I think it's important for people to know.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know what happened. Gaming since I was little. In high high school, I got into StarCraft 2 first. Sucked at that, so I jumped over to League of Legends. And then I was actually working like behind the scenes in production and vet coordination until someone was like, we just need someone to go stand on stage and just read off names. Like, sure, I could do that. And I was like, oh, this is kind of fun. I think I'm okay at this. And then I just started building my own content until Travis found me. And then Travis was like, hey, go do stuff for me at Yahoo. I'm like, okay. And then Yahoo died. And then Riot was like, hey, you're not terrible. Why don't you come do some stuff for us? And I was like, I'm still in college. And they're like, that's okay. And I'm like, woo! So that's kind of where I got started.
I got introduced to esports about 3 or 4 years ago, pretty randomly, I would say. So I lived in New York, and Breanne and I had a luxury fashion company. So we love making clothes, and we've always said we want to make clothes that change the way people interact with the world. And we started going to gaming cafes in Flushing, Queens, which is an hour train ride outside of the city. And truthfully, I knew nothing about like sold out arenas or so many people are watching or any of that. Like all I knew about was these like small gaming cafes and like the local tournaments they would do. And I think we fell in love with like how passionate everyone was, like exactly as passionate we are about like making great clothes. And so fast forward 3 years now, I understand what TwitchCon is and the international and every event, but it's definitely from the local scene is where we got involved and what we're so passionate about that like kind of brought us here. Oh my gosh, I mean, it's my whole life now. Now I'm not turning on Netflix, I watch streams and I am in Twitch chat and I adore it, and watching people grow in this space has been so exciting and kind of one of my favorite parts, and TI is still my favorite event out of all of them. I love it, though I'm not sure I'm going to China this year.
I was really not very good at the beginning of season 8, and I met a bunch of friends and started like kind of gaining connections, and someone that really helped me out was some of my amateur academy friends like Diamond, and I kind of I'd always wanted to get better at League. I kind of didn't understand why I was not able to climb, and I figured out that like a lot of issues in my champion pool, so I just focused on trying to learn new champions. Like in amateur, in the scrims and stuff, I was playing Rakan. I wasn't really like super like happy to be D1. I was happy that I was able to do it by myself and that I had actually seen myself get better.
You know, I was used as a live translator at first until finally DreamHack was like, hey, why don't you ask the questions too? And I was like, whoa, that's and trust me guys, when I first started out, I am by no means a natural talent. It took so much messing up and awkward moments and crying and, you know, asking myself like, why am I doing this? And let's just say even someone like me improved over time.
Head mamas, badass bitches, or whatever the title you want to have, top of Ateyo. So what's it like kind of working with all the females and you guys as yourselves being 2 women who are just kind of owning this?
Yeah, so it was really important to us if we were going to launch women's wear, we wanted to do it with all females. We have a female production crew, we have a female director who's worked on gaming stuff before. We have female behind the scenes photographer, behind the scenes video, and kind of everyone who we could find. It was really important to us for them all to be female and really believe in this project. And it's been a pretty smooth process so far. I mean, women are just amazing to work with. Everyone's been so excited, and we've asked them like, hey, do you have something we can sponsor as part of this launch? And all the women have a podcast, or they do this shoulder content, or they do this blog. So it's been really inspiring to see what great things, you know, women are doing in this space.
Something big that I've worked on is recent negotiations with the LCS on behalf of a number of the teams. We've handled negotiations with the Overwatch League on behalf of lots of teams, lots of big buyouts. One of the most exciting things for me to have worked on was Team Liquid signing up Doublelift.
Oh, you did that?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my
so
gosh.
That was pretty fun.
Yeah.
Old news now, but one of my favorites.
Old news now, but still, that was I think it was the biggest signing of that year because
it was really exciting. It was really hard to keep under wraps.
I think actually like the first biggest thing was like when I got D1 at EDC, but like the second one, like I think that tops that is actually coming here and like meeting all these people that I looked up to, like you, for example. It was actually really cool, and then like a lot of the academy players, and it's just been like kind of like I've been awestruck because I'm seeing all these people who are so good, and you realize like everyone here is just a person too, you know? They worked hard to get here, and they're just regular people, and there's a lot to learn from them.
I think the YEE program ultimately it's if we have it large enough that it's a place where people, where kids just kind of know about it and hear about it and want to be a part of it, and that in a couple years, you know, that we generate this program where older members start helping the younger members, and then we can encourage students and encourage gamers to be nice to one another and take the things that they've learned, take it on to college, and create their own communities, and, you know, just kind of preach the methods of nice gaming, I guess.
A year and a half ago, like, I never even thought I would be in this industry at all. Like, I knew that I loved gaming, I knew that I loved esports, and I wanted to do something within it. This was definitely not what I had in mind. Like, this was just crazy.
Yeah.
So I mean, just looking back, it's like, well, you did something right.
I'd say the future, we really just love creating amazing clothes, and I think making clothes is really important, and also the community like we create and become a part of. And I think today has been so fun because it's women that have a lot never met, and now are like so proud of a young streamer, or it's like so fun to have someone to look up to.
I'm blown away by this shoot because you've gotten so many different people, all from esports and gaming, to jump in on this. So what was it like for you reaching out to them?
Oh, it was incredible, the reach out process. We were so excited. We reached out to all these women who we've admired and loved for so long, and we got them all together on one day and doing one thing together, collaborating, meeting each other for the first time, and it's been incredible. It's been a really incredible day, and we're just so happy that all these women have done so much to support the industry that we're happy to give back even just a little bit.
Obviously, it's not perfect being a woman in this space. I think that there's a lot of ways the space could improve, and we really wanted to create kind of an anthem, literally and metaphorically, for like all the women in the space. And also is really important to us to kind of show all the faces that maybe a casual viewer doesn't know go into creating an amazing broadcast, or having a team run, or getting players flown internationally. And so we wanted to make sure we like partnered, I guess influencers is the appropriate word, with women that just work in the space. And it's been really fun. Yeah.
Well, is there anything that you'd like to say to maybe people who are aspiring to be an esports attorney or don't even know what it is?
If you want to be an esports attorney, dedicate every second that you can to learning the space, meeting the amazing people in the space, and you will certainly find your place here.
I get asked that question a lot, like, you know, do you have any advice? And what I would say is that everyone I've seen that is sort of still in this industry and flourishing always started out because they had a genuine, really authentic passion and desire and love for the space. So they were able to translate that passion into some sort of volunteer work in some sort of a way, whether that's writing, or whether that's content creating by interviewing, or whether that's working behind the scenes on production. There are literally, especially in 2019, so many different avenues for you to try to help out in any old way. And once you get that foot in the door and show that you're, you know, a hard worker and that you're in it for the right reasons, I think that really does go a long way. And the most important thing is to just have a genuine heart when you start, I think. So do that.
Don't be afraid to realize that you've got a lot to learn, and work hard because it's not easy, and don't be afraid to get help. I think don't worry about winning the games, worry about how you can get better from each one.
No, like I said earlier, just guys, you have to understand that we all exist in this space together. We all want to game together. We all want to win. That's a universal thing. By saying not nice things is not going to make you win. And it's only going to hurt people's feelings, and, you know, which in turn makes them say not nice, and it's just a big snowball effect, like you said. So let's all just be a little more mindful when gaming with one another, and remember that there is another human being on the other side of that console and or PC, and let's be good to each other, guys.
I would just say this is a magical, magical space, and there's room for everyone, and we're so excited to have all these amazing women. Thank you. Oh, you're the best.